Tracy with MeatRx. I'm a MeatRx coach, and I'm here with another success story. I have my dear friend Leanne. Hi, Leanne.
Hi, Tracy. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, thank you for coming. I'm so excited to hear your success story. I know you have had a lot of good success, and so can we start out by talking about what life was like, your diet, your health conditions, things that went on before you found the carnivore diet?
Yes, so I'd be happy to do that. I guess I should start the long story. I'll try to make short. So my son contracted Crohn's disease when he was 6 years old. So this sort of like frames everything of how I got from point A to point B with such a passion for diet. So he has a pretty severe case that he contracted when he was 6. And he has, so we have been searching for an answer, for a solution to this disease, both the cause and the solution, because, you know, for the longest time, nobody knew what the cause was. So how do you treat it if you don't know the cause? So he has had 3 surgeries and about 14 inches of intestine removed. And, you know, like I said, we've been battling this for about 14 years. He did get his life back after the surgery, and he has been on Stelara. I think he went through probably every drug possible, and they all failed until Stelara. So he was actually, you know, able to get his life back, and he's been thriving and doing really well. But now he's on this, you know, they're dangerous drugs with really dangerous side effects. And so the just having Crohn's disease alone, I learned through MeatRx, there's a 3,000% chance of colorectal cancer, not including the drugs that he's on. So as a mom, you know, I'm just always aggressively, not aggressively, but I have been a liaison for truth and health when it comes to immune health and finding out, you know, what's the cause of this terrible affliction. And it's in my family. My uncle had it. His uncle on his father's side had it. So it's been an interesting journey from getting from that point to this point. So I'm really super excited because I used myself as a guinea pig and wanted to test it on my body first. Of course, I did the carnivore coaching and I learned everything that I could as fast as I could. I'm not a coach yet, but I'm getting there just because I really want to just make sure that he's taken care of and I've got him healed up before I go and heal up try and help others to heal and lose weight. So we tried the specific carbohydrate diet that the CCFA recommends, and we kind of failed. Doesn't really work. It didn't work for him. At that point, you know, we kind of gave up. If they didn't know what was going on, then, you know, how are we going to be able to navigate diet as a solution if they can't figure that out? We did get a lot of good information from them. And then my sister came to visit a year ago, and I had done the Arbonne diet because I've always been overweight. So it's kind of twofold. There's his story, and then there's my story, you know, that I sort of like stumbled across this after I had given up on any holistic kind of cure for him. And I failed terribly in Arbonne. I thought it was just so expensive. I don't want to say bad things about other companies, but for me, it didn't work.
What is Arbonne? What is Arbonne? Is it?
Arbonne is pea protein shakes.
Oh.
And it's, you know, they're, you know, basically saying that, you know, red meat is dangerous. So as soon as that went in, I mean, I'm from Ohio. I grew up on meat and potatoes, and I don't know whether it's my background. I've always had an iron stomach. I can handle anything. So I don't, I was, what are you talking about? I know.
Right.
No, you don't get rid of red meat. That doesn't happen. So that was my stance on it. But then my sister, who is she is a professional health, um, she's a psychologist. She's done a lot of work, and she just retired. And so she pointed out that she had been doing it for about 6 months and how successful she was on it. And when she asked me, do you want to do this diet for the purposes of losing weight, or do you want to do it for health? And I hadn't even thought at that point. It's so funny. I hadn't even thought about, oh yeah, well, what about my health? Yeah, let's do it for health for me, and then we'll do it for health for Sebastian. So I really have to credit my sister. She's really the one who brought MeatRx into the picture for all of us. So
that's how you first heard about the carnivore diet?
Yeah, it was through, my sister, and she had gotten onto Facebook and gotten onto all those really super supportive sites, and she helped me to realize, how important the support part of all of this is.
Mm-hmm.
I probably couldn't have done it without that kind of support from her, and we didn't know about the carnivore coaching at that point in time. So she and I we both have background in research, and we just went boom into all of his podcasts, Dr. ShawnBaker's podcast on the high performance outliers. Is that the name of it, right? High performance outliers. Fantastic, just fantastic. And so we got really excited and just did our whole nerdy, deep dive into it. And I immediately had immediate results within the first 60 days. And so,
what kind of foods did you start out with, and did you have any difficulties transitioning?
Yeah, so I had, after I had done Arbonne, which is interesting, all that pea protein, I had a severe, now I don't know that that's the reason for it, just was sort of kind of like, this is interesting. I had a severe onset of tendinitis, and I'd never had that before. And I knew that there was some arthritis in the family, but it was just like my shoulder went out, my elbows went out, my knees went, like everything started happening all at the same time. So, that went away immediately. So my sister Leslie was pretty good about, immediately she let me know to turn the food pyramid upside down. And that, you want your main course to be, between 1 and 2 pounds of ruminant meat, and then the rest, anything with a mother, is like side dishes. That really helped me gain perspective of like how to eat. And then I had a little trouble with, when to eat, of course, naturally. And because we have these patterns set up where we're in the pattern of eating I used to eat every 3 or 4 hours. I would be hungry. And so she also said, eat until your Thanksgiving Day full, and then don't eat again until, you're really, really hungry. So that was the key. That was just like, okay. I mean, I was so ready to just do whatever, So I might be a little different than most, where, I had the motivation of my son's health as well as my health. So a lot of the side effects that I had were just the standard headaches. I didn't really have any rashes. My skin tended to get better right away, but I was also getting more sun because I was paying attention to that. So I levitated right away to ribeyes. So, we started just keeping it really simple, and it was just beautiful to be able to get rid of all the food chaos in your life, with how to prepare all these different, and just ridding your kitchen and not having to think about anything but just a few items to have to cook was nice, the way it simplifies life. So I've always levitated towards eggs and bacon in the morning because that's the way I grew up. Yeah, eggs and bacon. So I usually go about 16 to 18 hours in between eating, and I started doing that just naturally right away. Like I really didn't even think about tracking it. And then once I did start tracking it, I thought, oh, this is what people are doing, and I was just doing it. So I don't think I had too many severe symptoms. I think the most difficult thing for me was the dehydration and taking in enough salt. And I think that was part of what was causing the headaches too. So she said, put some salt under your tongue. And I thought, what? It's ridiculous, eating salt under the tongue. And sure enough, it worked just fine. Yeah. So, I'll eat just about anything as a side dish. And I can do dairy. Not a lot of people can do dairy, but I will do the hard cheeses and the heavy whipping cream in my coffee in the morning. I know at this point, after being carnivore for almost 15 months, I'm supposed to cut out the coffee and try to cut out the cream, but it's working for me. So if it starts not working, then I'll worry about that,
How long have you been carnivore? And I forgot to ask you, like you said, you lost weight, but I didn't know what other health conditions you had prior.
Yeah, so I was at my heaviest, I don't know if I can, so glaring. I was at my heaviest about 10 years ago. So I'm 5'8", and I was about 190 pounds. I was almost like nearing 200 pounds. And I had so many problems. I had lower back pain, fibroids, yeast infections. Oh my gosh. Just all of any of the female issues you can think of, I was afflicted with. And then, I was extremely depressed, and I have lots of anxiety, and I hadn't ever had a diagnosis, but I have a background in psychology a little bit. I think I had a little PTSD from all of the trauma from, divorce and a child who was sick, and then, a bankruptcy from all the medical bills. And so I had a lot of psychological stuff to work through too, which, it's just amazing how much this diet has helped me. So, yeah, I'll never go back. I might go back to keto. So, you know how it is. It's a roller coaster. So I do have those moments where I cheat, where I try to cheat the best I can, and then get back on the horse. Like, okay, cheesecake is probably better than regular cake, right? So at least you're getting the sugar if you fall off the wagon, but at least it's mostly cream and the other stuff if you can scrape off the crust. You know what I mean? And whenever that happens, my symptoms come right back. And so it's a miracle. It's like your body becomes insulin sensitive again. And that really is what I have found. I feel like now after 15 months, and we won't know for sure with Sebastian until we get the blood mark and see if it's possible for him to start. He's 2 months in, so but I feel like I have found the cause and the solution for my health personally. So I'm sort of halfway getting there, in that, I feel like we're on the right track for him. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. And how long have you been practicing the meat-based diet?
Oh, so I started the 23rd of June. I think that puts me at 14 and a half months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm pretty proud. I've got my boyfriend, he's been on it too, and I'm sorry about the glare.
That's okay.
So I think I've lost about 35 pounds. When I started, I think I was at 170, I think it was about 175, maybe 180, somewhere in there. But I don't like the scale. The scale, it messes with my mind. So I started out doing measurements. So I measured my arms, I measured my waist, hips, inside of the thigh. And immediately within the first, was it month? The first month, I lost 4 inches around my waist.
Wow, that's
So
really good.
unfortunately, because I don't like scales, well, no, I can't really tell someone exactly, but I don't find it helpful, those numbers, you know, and I found it more helpful to just stay focused on how I feel and when I'm hungry and what do I want to eat? What is my body telling me? What am I hungry for? You know, rather than this is what I should be eating now at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So did I answer your question there?
Yes, you did. You did, yes.
Okay.
And so can you tell me like how your health conditions improved after you began eating a meat-based diet, and did it happen right away or a couple months in, or?
Well, I think once I got past sort of there's always little anxieties in the beginning. I think when the oxalate dumping symptoms come, you know, where you're questioning. So I think once I got past that, I could really see it didn't take very long for me at all. It just took like really the 60 days is really accurate. It's funny how that really worked for me. The tendinitis was the thing that I saw. Everything. You know, the tendinitis was the first thing to heal up. And I did a lot of yoga and stretching and strength training to support that, which was useful, which was really helpful. The fibroids, I had just entered menopause, so my hot flashes went away, my migraines went away. Now, if I consume triggers, they come back. And so now I know what my triggers are. Like, hallelujah, no more migraines. That was one thing that really interrupted my life was the migraines. Lower back pain was always a major issue for me. What else? Yeah, I had very painful, long menstrual cycles, and those disappeared as well. So I think the hot flashes took the longest, but that might have just been natural. I don't know if NeatRx actually, I haven't delved into the menopause issue yet. I haven't gotten there. But I can tell when I start having more carbs, like I'll have a hot flash. So I'm 51. I'm not sure when those end. I think the biggest thing too would be just clearing the mind fog. And psychologically having people to talk to and listen to. You know, I've been on a couple of the community meetings, which are really fantastic. And just having my sister, who, God bless her soul, just decided to do this out of the goodness of her health as a professional psychologist. You know, I got really lucky with her
Wow.
having that kind of support for free.
Yeah, that's so nice. And
The combination, yeah, the combination of it really does heal your mind. The eating meat heals your mind. I can tell you that right now from personal experience. I'm not as depressed. I don't have the anxiety that I used to have. It still pops up, you know, but not nearly as much.
wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it really is. Ask anybody who knows me. I've changed. It's good.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
great healing that you've had take place in your life. I love hearing success stories like this.
Yeah, it's been life changing. And I think at a point in time, you know, it's just so critical too for all of us.
Yeah. Yeah, we're living in a lot different times now, for sure.
Yes, so everyone's searching for truth. And, you know, Dr. Baker has done a fine job, I have to say. Very
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're training to be a coach, and I think that you'll be a great one. You seem very compassionate and understanding, and And of course, you've been on the journey, so you really know how to work it and how to help other people.
Yeah, I started early on. When someone that you love goes into the hospital, you have to be an advocate for them. If you go into the hospital, you have to be your own advocate. They're not going to do that for you. So, if I can help some other parents with children that have this disease, because it's so much more common now and at such a younger age, and the drugs are even more dangerous. So, I'm ready to go and be of service.
Right. You
Yeah.
seem like you really want to help people, and that's really, really nice to see. So,
Thank
is
you.
there anything else that you would like to share at the end here, just to, someone that's searching for answers, that might want to know how to heal their anxiety or any of those kinds of things?
Yes, I do. Um, there's always going to be stumbling blocks. And I think what Dr. Baker says about the long-term compliance is really the key. And don't beat yourself up. If you fall off the wagon, just jump right back on again. It really is like an addiction. So I guess that's the one thing I would want to say is that, don't forget we're all addicts because of the sugar that's been put in our food since the day we were born.
Right.
So forgive yourself, get back on, let it go, and just stick with it. And the results will be like none you've ever known. That's how I
Excellent.
feel.
Yes, that's excellent summary. And it's so true that people, if you stick with it, you'll see the results as you continue on. I mean, it won't happen maybe the first week or the first month, but depending on each person's conditions, that it takes time. It does.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm really hoping that my son has already contacted his doctor and told him that he's doing it, and his doctor's on board. So that's like half the battle right there. And he has a very good doctor. We've had a lot of success with him. So hopefully we'll see how his markers go, and who knows, maybe he'll be able to have the doctor start, de-prescribing the medication. That's where we're at.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. That sounds like it'll be great, because I mean, a doctor that works with you, that's really good for sure.
Thank you, Tracy.
Yeah, thank you so much, Leanne, for coming and sharing your success story. I know it'll help many, many people, and I can't wait till you're a coach too and can actually talk one-on-one, just like in a Zoom meeting.
I know, I'm so excited.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it'll be great. So we'll see you around the carnivore community.
Great. Thanks, Tracy. Bye-bye.
Okay.